We appreciate everyone for joining us after every single Ottawa Senators games. We win, we vibe, we lose, we vent, always right here on the POSTCAST. Tonight's the first Battle of Ontario of the season, and it goes in the Senators' favor. 6-3, the final score. Pilsy, your number one Sens Central standout in tonight's game.
Look, I know there was guys that, they had the goals, they had the flash, but I feel like I'm starting to develop a trend where I always highlight the assists more than the goals. And if that's the case, I got to give a lot of love to our guy, Matty Joe. I mean, 3 assists here. The speed was absolutely flying. I thought he was able to play perfectly with Claude Giroux and Tim Stutzle. I already did kind of a swift breakthrough of that nice tap in that Joseph had for Stutzle. And I just liked his hustle. He had an opportunity where he had a little breakaway and got a backhand deke there. Like, this guy, the difference in season to season for Matthew Joseph from last year to this year is phenomenal. Like, Ross, maybe you can argue me, but Matthew Joseph might be the most improved player from last season to this season so far. Like, the turnaround was absolutely crazy for this guy. He was brought in to be a guy that is going to be paid like a third line winger, but is able to elevate up and down the lineup when there's injuries. And that's exactly what he's doing. But now he's not just up there as a replacement or a fill-in. The Senators are finally figuring out a way to utilize his speed, and Matthew Joseph is kind of earning that and allowing them to feel validated in having him up there because he's playing so damn well. So I want to give Matthew Joseph a lot of love because he's looked so good lately.
3 assists tonight for Matthew Joseph, plus 3, played 16-53 in this game. Also had 3 shots on goal in the victory. I'm going to roll along with this line because Claude Giroux said his piece in the media and went out there and backed it up on the ice. Those 2 goals, an assist, plus 2, 60% in the dot, and he did it all in a clean 15 minutes and 48 seconds. He was everything, the bit of leader you would hope to have from a guy like Claude Giroux tonight. And if we look, those game score impact cards that we always like to look at, Pilsy, that we don't quite understand, but we know that right means good, left means bad. Matthew Joseph was second on the Sens today, and Claude Giroux was third. Those guys were electric out there. They move the puck so well. Claude Giroux does this thing where he just gets lost on the power play coverage. Like, he just, slowly creeps down low, and had that tweet afterwards, his smile when he scored his first goal of the game. And I said, man, there's that photo of him with Alfie. I said, hey, should I fake throw my stick in the crowd here? Is that what the cool kids do at the Scotiabank Library or the Air Canada Library back in the day when Alfie did it? And Claude Giroux was just he was as advertised. We've wanted more from him in certain games this year. He needs more performances like that. Would be very welcome for me, Pilsy, as he's going to be my first of a few Sens Central standouts in this game.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one, Ross. I want to give Claude Giroux stick taps, and as I typically do in the POSTCAST, got to check out the face-off stats. 6 for 10 in the dot, good for 60%. So
how many were
a classic game for Claude Giroux?
How many were against John Tavares?
Let me check. I've got the face-off summary, so I'll quickly get the face-off comparison here.
Please. I like this.
2 of them, and he was 50% in the draw. So that's just 5 of them total, and he was 2 for 5.
Okay, so I just wasted your time. That's not a noteworthy stat at all. Good job by me. I'll get us back on the rails here by snapping you over. Who I'd imagine you're going to go to is the third member of that line.
Yes, I mean, this line deserves all the praise. Ross, we got to get Martian to drop off all 3 of our fire helmets to the Scotiabank Arena so they can give out 3 fire helmets to all players on this line. That's what we're going to do here on the POSTCAST because we're vibing. We got fire helmets to give away. You get a fire helmet, you get a fire helmet, and you get a fire helmet. Let's go. Tim Stutzle is the third standout for us here. I mean, 4 points for Tim Stutzle. That's absolutely sick. A +3. He goes 40% in the dots, not as high as you'd want, but the Leafs did have a really good night in the face-off dot here. But Tim Stutzle, it seemed like he finally found his rhythm here, Ross. Like, I can't think of too many times where Tim Stutzle tried to do it all and had it blow up in his face and it turned into a turnover and odd man rush the other way. It seemed like he was sharp. He wasn't looking at the iPad too much. He wasn't frustrated. He wasn't kicking the door. He wasn't kind of looking at refs for calls when he's getting frustrated. Like, this just seemed like he really reined it in. And the play that I loved most about Tim Stutzle here was they dumped it into the Leafs end. Joseph Woll has it behind the net on his stick, and Timmy is coming flying around the other way, and he pickpockets Woll to set up that Claude Giroux goal. Like, that's what you want to see from Timmy. You want to see him out there making opponents pay for hesitating and for taking their time with the puck. I love Tim Stutzle's game here. There's a reason he's called Timmy Superstar, and he was my locked on player, Ross. I wanted him to have a big game up against the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Battle of Ontario. That's what he does.
He certainly did. Now, another note on Tim Stutzle tonight. This one courtesy of the NHLPA. They tweeted this out, or sorry, NHLPR, I should say. Tim Stutzle recorded his 49th career multi-point outing,
Nice.
which ranks second behind only Brady Tkachuk since Timmy entered the league. Also, only 2 active players have recorded 10 assists in a season with Ottawa in fewer games than Timmy's 11. Those players, Erik Karlsson,
Ooh, good.
and Thomas Chabot. So good company. I mean, there's maybe one too many qualifiers on there. Active players, I'd rather it be in history, but we'll allow it when Erik Karlsson and Thomas Chabot are the only other 2 guys on the list. So a great game from Tim Stutzle tonight. Now, with respects to a bonus one, because we got the graphic, I'm working on it right now. We'll pull it up in a second. Some beauty photos from tonight's game. Elsie, we've maybe left out the best player tonight. Jacob Chychrun played 31 minutes and 6 seconds.
Oh, wow.
A career high in ice time for Jacob Chychrun. The 25-year-old number 1 defenseman for the Yotes for how many years? He plays a career high tonight. He's +4. He has a goal, an assist, 2 shots on goal. He was quarterbacking the top power play unit. Offensively, he's got these pivots to him. When he has the puck on his stick, he looked confident. Like, the only thing that I'm worried about is how's he going to look tomorrow in less than 24 hours after that. But tonight, he was unreal.
Yeah, Ross, not going to lie, I was not ready to hear that Chychrun played over 30 minutes tonight. I really thought that they would have rolled the lines a little more, especially because I saw Clevin out there a lot more often than usual, but that didn't necessarily mean Matthew Palo also got out there more too. So that's crazy for Jacob Chychrun. And yeah, he had a nice game, even though he kind of fanned on his shot that ends up being a goal. I think him fanning on it a little actually ended up turning out in his favor because it was kind of like the old knuckleball on Joseph Woll. He wasn't really quite ready for it. So yeah, Jacob Chychrun, I mean, when you look at a guy that has had injury concerns in the past, but now he's one of the mainstays while the rest of the decor is struggling with injuries, it's just been an absolute blessing to have him and Jake Sanderson, a sophomore player, fairly new Sens player and a sophomore Sens player, being the ones that hold up the responsibility of this decor has been very refreshing, and everybody loves Jacob Chychrun in Ottawa.
And let's hope, as the chat's mentioning here, John says, let's hope Zub's in the lineup to do it tomorrow would really alleviate some pressure. But with that, man, I also want to give us some stick taps. And I actually, you know what? First, I want to throw it back to you because you got one more standout you want to go to as a goalie-friendly show.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to give stick taps to Korpisalo here. I mean, that save on Austin Matthews, that's a 10 out of 10 save right there. You can't get much bigger in a more important moment because, Ross, I believe at that time, I'm just checking my notes here, but that was a 1-1 game at that point. Yeah, it's a 1-1 game near the end of the second period. And this is one of those opportunities, and they talked about it a lot on the broadcast, where getting the right matchups is so crucial in games like this. Matthews is out there up against Matthew Palo and Tyler Clevin, and he easily gets around Matthew Palo, and then Clevin comes in diving to try to stop him from having a good chance Austin Matthews, one of the best players in the league, toe drags right around that with ease and pulls off a great move and gets the backhand. It's not like he got the backhand and didn't elevate it. He got it in a good spot, but Korpisalo was right there. Great reflexes. Not only does he make the glove save, Ross, but he catches it. No rebound, no chaos. Calm it down, flash the leather a little bit, give the fans a little bit of a show, and it was an incredible save. That was just one of many really good saves, Ross. And before I snap it back to you, I've been getting on Korpisalo for him scaring the heck out of me when he has the puck covered, and for some reason he's just so prone to trying to play it even if it doesn't make sense. Great job by Korpisalo tonight, holding it. Even there was a moment where he could have passed it, but he was like, no, not gonna do that. I'm just gonna hold it, just gonna slow things down here. And that was refreshing to see, as it's a relief not to have your goalie just throwing the puck out randomly and it's all of a sudden chaos everywhere. So Korpisalo, unreal job tonight.
Or when your goalie's behind the net and decides to give it to the other team.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, Joseph Woll just took too long with it. And when you're doing something like that, you have to be aware of who's on the ice. And Joseph Woll was not aware of Timmy Speedstar. I'll do a little pivot on Superstar Speedstar, Ross. Timmy was going around the boards yelling, Game, schnell, schnell. For you non-German speakers, that's fast, fast, quick, quick, if my translation is correct.
Wow, nice, Pilsy.
That's absolutely sick.
That's absolutely sick, dude. Keep it up. We mentioned Joonas Korpisalo, who has the Ottawa Fire helmet right now. The question we're asking on YouTube, you can see it in the poll, already 100 votes. Let's keep those rolling in. Who will Korpisalo give the Ottawa Fire helmet to? We've highlighted the 4 players that we've talked about throughout this show already: Claude Giroux, Tim Stutzle, Mathieu Joseph, and Jacob Chychrun. The results are in that same order, with Claude Giroux leading the way at 48% of the vote. But Pilsy, I think there might be something to this. New goalie, he might go with his defenseman, who was +4 in front of him. I think we might see it go to Jacob Chychrun. However, Chychrun has had the helmet before. He got it in the home opener. So maybe there's a little bit of, hey, puff, puff, pass it around. Shout out Mary J's.
Hey, yeah, we're familiar with that for sure. Ross, if I'm a goalie, I'm giving it to the defenseman that just played over 30 minutes. It's like a quarterback. Oh, yeah, true. That's smart, Senator. Good catch there. But if I'm a goalie, I'm doing that. It's like a quarterback. Like, if a quarterback has a game where he doesn't get sacked, you better believe he's buying all the offensive linemen a Rolex or something. Like, he's getting them a good gift there. So that's a good one. But that's a great point by Senator. They're very, very likely to give it to a guy who got his first point. And hey, obviously not one of the most impactful players of the game, but I thought Roby Järventie had a nice game, and he even got himself bumped up from being weirdly on the 4th line to being up on the 3rd line there for a decent chunk of the game. So shout out Red Light Roby, dishing out apples.
Yeah, big disher. Great
stuff. Or 1 apple, I should say.
Stick taps to Roby. He also almost scored. It was an in-tight break that it was a beautiful pass, I believe, by Tarasenko.
It was Tarasenko, the playmaker.
Oh,
the tank, the playmaker. Oh.
Chef's kiss on that one. Put it right in the spot for Roby, but it was a good save there. One of a few good saves, we'll say, from Joseph Woll, who definitely didn't steal this game for Toronto. Korpisalo, I'd say, was good when he had to be. Did make highlight reel saves, but I think it was more so that onslaught of offense by Ottawa, those 3 quick goals in quick succession. Bingo, bango, bongo. All of a sudden, the Senators get the 3-goal lead. They hold on to it. 6-3, the final score tonight. The Ottawa Senators get the win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Pilsy, this was a fun game. Lots to highlight and lots to look forward to tomorrow